minutes now. I'm teaching something.
Are we recording?
Are we recording?
Yeah. Recording the clap the slate.
Oh, the slate. Nah.
What is with you guys in that fucking slate?
We love it.
Remember when that girl did it super
good?
aggressively? We're all like, okay.
Is my coat?
Who's the one that did it? Who's the one that did it with the...
Yamira, right? That's her name?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we start the podcast, as always, they do a slate.
Where is it
And one
though?
time, Yamira, the girl that, the lady that does this, usually engineering, hit it really hard. And we were like, ooh, she's having a day. Okay, everybody, hi, we're here. Welcome to And Here's Modi. We are back. We are taping right after all the Jewish holidays. Everybody now is bloated.
Speak for yourself.
No, I mean, no, the people who have celebrated the holidays all the way through are exhausted. They're completely finished.
I saw something funny on Instagram that said, "Sorry, I haven't called you back all month. It was a Jewish
I
holiday."
sent that to
Oh,
you.
you sent that?
No, it's really, this was one of the worst years of like where the holidays are set up, because there's no like Shabbat and holiday together,
Right,
where you kill two birds with one stone. It's like a day off, Shabbat, half a day off, another holiday starting.
The holidays are exhausting. I don't know how everyone does it.
I just want to tell you that by Simchat Torah, Leo and I had both had it.
Yeah.
I had it way before
No,
that.
you have to pace yourself. You have to really pace yourself and know what you're going to go for and not go for and what meals. And we had a very good conversation before we began taping about sneakers.
Right.
These are one of my oldest sneakers, and they look brand new. And that's because Leo, we have a washing machine in the house.
Of course you do.
In the apartment. And then downstairs, we have these industrial behemoths, animals of washing machines. And sometimes we just take all the sneakers and put them in there.
And by we, you mean?
Leo goes down and puts all the sneakers in there, and they come back brand new. Brand spanking new. It's like you just bought a new, it's like another Nike package. And
They look amazing. First of all, So I was asking Leo because I'm in charge of the laundry and in my house, and I
you
get
established that's the only domestic thing you do. Or
that's except for having like a baby come out of my body.
I
That
could
was
actually
pretty-
see you making Guy breastfeed the kids. Did you make Guy breastfeed the kids?
You know what the truth is I really genuinely thought before I gave birth that I was going to have this baby and give it to Guy, because I just didn't. I had no interest in being a mom. Like that was never my thing.
Same.
Right.
What's wrong with you? And you keep saying it on every venue you can.
It's
Your
true.
poor kid's gonna grow up and
No.
like, my mom this and this. My mom never
No,
loved me.
he knows I don't love him. No.
You love him a lot.
He's my favorite thing on the planet now. He really is. Like,
I would
but
hope so.
some women, that's all they want to do. They want to have kids. They want to get married. Those were never my goals. It never seemed like that interesting of a thing to do.
It was
to
never
me.
my goal.
Well,
I love kids, and I think they're important to have for people who really, really want them. And if you have kids, enjoy them.
I feel like we've been blessed with cool kids in our life.
Yes.
We're auxiliary.
Parents
Not
and
parents.
uncles and.
The fun uncles.
To be honest with you, I think,
role is-
I
the
think
funkles.
our friends' kids see us as friends more than just like
I'm
uncles.
not like a regular mom. I'm like a cool mom.
Dina's kids adore me.
right, of course they do.
I grew up with them more than my own nieces and nephews, so I know their kids like everything.
No, you guys have a great role. With all due respect, it's a little bit different than being a mom.
Oh, God, it sounds horrible.
But we're.
It's
So I even say this on stage is, I never wanted to get married and have kids. And now that I'm married and I have kids, I
really don't wanna have kids,
I
no.
know why. I was right for all of the reasons that my life is now.
Well, speaking about on stage, I think it would be interesting to switch topics a little bit and discuss the fact that you two are going to do some shows together in December.
know.
I can't wait to see what you do on that stage.
I'm starting to
So tell
prepare
the people-
right
Well,
now.
Tell the
Mohegan
people.
Sun, right? We're Mohegan Sun, December 1st, 2nd, and
It's
3rd.
Comics Roadhouse at Mohegan Sun, so Mohegan Sun is the casino in Connecticut.
Right. So anybody in that area of Mohegan Sun, we're going to be there. So
Modi
get your
and Perry
tickets.
Hill will be
Yeah.
performing. I will be there in the audience and backstage.
And
so come say hi.
Yes, come say hi. And
Definitely come say hi. We should have some merch from the podcast or from Yoili or something
We
prepared.
have my
I have
yarmulkes.
yarmulkes.
We have the
Oh, okay,
yarmulkes
good.
with the little barcode. Yeah, the
That's
Know Your
sick.
Audience and Dalif Lameta Omed yarmulkes. We'll have them there.
Wait a second. Your yarmulkes have a barcode?
No. He's talking about I have a barcode that you can pay me on
The
Venmo.
Oh, okay.
Which never works.
Which the Jews can't do. They're
Well,
like,
no,
it's
they-
not working.
Just bring
Wait.
a 20 with you.
Just bring cash.
Just bring cash.
It's $20
Venmo
cash.
me with your,
and I don't have change.
But I'm dying to see what, like, because you have to do some time.
Yeah,
this
you're gonna have to
isn't
do
a
some-
5-minute spot at stand up. This is like,
You're
hi,
gonna-
I'm here.
I'm
And they're
here.
like, and they already assume, oh, she must be a very well developed comedian if she's working Mohegan Sun. And so,
She's a well-developed comedian,
okay.
or else we wouldn't be bringing her.
I remember the first time someone told me how to do a long set
Wait, is this a long set for you? You're gonna have to
it's
do
a-
like 15,
That's
right?
totally,
in your ballpark.
yes. I mean, if you asked me to do 30 minutes, I would probably.
Well, don't forget, half her set is I
Modi.
don't really like any other parents in my kid's school. So you
That's
can
not
just
true.
drag that. Yeah.
I'm just going to tell one joke really slowly.
2 guys walk into a bar.
Is that true?
No.
So wait a second. First, let's take a step back because
Yes.
I was thinking that since we officially relaunched or started season 2 with revisiting Olga, that maybe we probably have a lot
Wait,
of
we're
new
on season 3.
I meant season 3.
Okay,
Sorry,
just for the record.
I meant season 3.
We're trying to catch up to the crown.
That we probably have a lot of new listeners that don't know why the show is called And Here's Modi. So that was one of my
Oh.
things that I thought could be fun to like move into today's episode with.
So,
With
and here's Modi is the title is because whenever I get introduced, I perform in events where it's not just comedy; it's like a fundraiser, galas, big evenings of fundraisers, and of all of that stuff. And
We
they
love
u-
to raise funds.
and they usually show a movie or something before I come on to like rip people's heart out to make donations, like it's a charity or an event. And now it's everybody's how they've helped the Ukrainians. So now I'm following videos of like Ukrainians starving coming over the border, and these Jewish organizations taking them and bringing them to Canada, to America, and helping them. And you're like people are bawling and crying, and then some woman comes on and says, "And here's Modi."
Yeah.
Just
For some levity.
for some levity, right? A little comedy. So those of you who are new listeners, that's why the name of the podcast is that. And why we have this podcast, everybody keeps, we still never came up with like a one-liner.
Yeah, everyone's like, so what's your podcast about? And we're like, well, it's cheaper than therapy.
It's definitely, and it helps. And you know what? People have been writing us saying, I love to listen to you guys right before I go to bed.
That's
Which
hilarious.
Which is a good thing, because
We should rename the podcast Ambien.
No, we should no, because that's a nice thing to know. Like we don't bother people.
I
We don't
love Ambien.
Excite people.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, you give up on Ambien. You're taking what's it called?
Oh, I'm on different shit now, people.
What are you taking now? That's Celeste
Qvivic.
Qvivic.
Whoa, that sounds
Yeah,
like.
it's not advertised because I'm pretty sure it's like an experimental sleep drug.
Leo can't stomach when there's noise in the building. So listen, our building is this massive brick building. And now, whenever a neighbor is doing construction, the board lets you know here, 608 or underneath you 408 is doing construction. So just be aware there'll be noise. On top of that, they're doing pinging. You know what that is? When they go brick
When
by
they make
brick
sure the
to see
building
it's
isn't
not-
about to collapse
Oh
like
my
in Florida.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't give you. So we have that.
And you're out.
Out.
You've been asleep for 4 hours.
The
at
other
this
night,
point.
I'm in bed. I'm not in bed. I wasn't on any of his cocktails for sleep, and I was just watching. I'm catching up on The Crown before season 5 comes, and they were drilling outside the apartment.
Yeah.
But a drill. This is a 12:30
At night.
a.m. And it was
with that chainsaw that
Are
they
you
go into the
serious?
asphalt.
But like
with.
a special one, it was like a high
special
pitch.
one?
I was sure he was gonna come out screaming, "We gotta move out of New York! We can't live here! This can't be! This isn't right! This isn't okay!" And I was
Is
like,
that my voice?
I cannot believe he slept through it. Whatever cocktail you made that
Ask
night.
your doctor about Qvivic.
Does he do that sometimes? Fly into a "we have to leave New York" rage?
At least once a week.
Okay, because that's what Guy does too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, all right. Oh, yeah, we really should. Let's go on Zillow and look at the places
Yeah.
in Florida.
That's happening. That's happening. I don't know if you know.
But it's not like the moment that you are having the attack on New York. It's,
That happens. Every time we see a rat,
oh.
Guy flies into an absolute rage
No, you
about
see
how
we-
expensive this city is.
So now it's okay. Seeing a rat is level A.
okay, a
but
rat-
seeing the rat flattened out by when you see the rat like completely
It's like
flattened out, his guts everywhere, the tail flattened, the arms like that's when you really go, we can't
It's
live
just
here.
like everything in the city is so hard. When we were just trying to get home from the cellar the other night, we were like, oh, let's take a cab. We got in a cab and we were like white knuckling it the whole way home. Like he's swerving and
Wow.
speeding and braking. And I'm
Wow.
like, do I have to look God in the face just to get home in a cab right
It
now?
was
Like
so
it was terrifying.
You don't usually take cabs, do you? You take Ubers. Where the guy has some set
Which
of
the Ubers are not
responsibility.
much better.
No, but the guy knows that you know who he is. He knows who you are. You can complain, which doesn't do anything. This is a cab.
So here's my thing.
And the guy flew like a maniac through the streets. And it's just after I just did a set,
Yeah.
had a great time. We had a lovely meal at the Olive Tree,
yeah.
and we're in the cab, and it's just like, phew, 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 in between different cars. He was one of those crazy like drivers
got-
in between.
yeah.
the yellow cab.
A yellow cab, yeah, because it was just like right there. We just picked up.
Professional New York City driver. The Uber driver.
He's not professional.
He's-
He is driving just because he has a license to drive a cab. Doesn't make him professional.
He's a professional taxi driver in New York City. I feel much safer with those guys than I do with the Uber
No.
driver.
Absolutely not, Periel. Absolutely not.
I also feel like the probability of getting raped is much lower with a yellow cab driver. Sorry. Who are these Uber
100%.
drivers?
I'm not agreeing with you. First of all, the Uber driver has din v'cheshbon. He has to account. There's a guy that knows who he is, knows where he's from, knows the whole thing, his whole story. He can report to Uber. They can report to police. A taxi driver that you're becoming has absolutely no connection to you after that ride.
What if the Uber
That's not true. Didn't we talk about your story, how you got your suit back the other day?
Because of the Amex, and
There was
it was a more
connection.
difficult connection. That was
To-
also Hashgacha Pratis. God's hand was in that one. Otherwise,
all right.
you're
We
paying
gotta
with cash.
steer this conversation
Okay.
away.
Anyway,
This is all to say that living in New York is stressful.
but then there's moments where it's the best thing in the world. It's the best thing in the world.
It's the best place on earth. It really is. It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
It's. What are you going to live in Tampa?
Where are you gonna
No
live?
offense to anybody who lives
no,
in
you-
Tampa.
It's called Trampa to those in the know.
Oh, you don't know about and Orlando?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
Those are
funny.
like the skeeziest towns.
First of all, there is no place on earth that is more magical than New York City, even with all the dreck, as you would say,
Yeah.
and the rats and the guts. I mean, it's magic every single day. It's one of the only places on earth that you can walk out of your apartment and you never know what amazing thing or crazy
That's not the
thing
only
can
place
happen.
on earth
Where
where that's
else?
gonna
Where
happen.
else?
Paris, maybe.
A city. It has to be
Where
in
else?
a city. Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv.
I just think we accept that life has to be like when I leave the apartment in the morning,
yeah.
by the time I get home that night, how many times has my fight or flight response been engaged throughout the day?
See,
At
you're
least
up.
a dozen. At least it doesn't. You get on the subway. There's like a crazy person with an open wound on their face. There's like you almost get hit by a car. You almost get hit by a cyclist. You see at least one rat. Like and then I get my blood drawn and we wonder why my cortisol is like through the roof.
No, your cortisol was high for different reasons that week.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Modi.
No, I'm telling you, it was.
That would be a funny show. We should,
What? Dr. Modi? Please send in your
Modi.
ailments.
Please send in to Dr. Modi. No, it's you have to deal with a lot, but it's
I'm moving to
magical.
Florida. Modi doesn't know this, but
You're not moving. What are you going to do in Florida?
the same thing I'm doing here,
No,
answering
well, we're going to be all of
emails.
January down there.
What am I doing in New York? I don't need to be in New York to answer emails.
The same thing I'm doing here, answering emails.
Stop it. We're going to be in Florida and we're going to enjoy it while we're there and do the winter thing in Florida and then come back to New York.
Yeah,
You
it's a
cannot
good-
I
not-
just booked a one-way ticket to Florida in December.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he's coming back after the comedy
That's what he
festival,
thinks.
which will
That's what
be
he thinks.
announced soon.
Tomorrow. By the time this
Tomorrow.
is out, it will be live.
Yes, it's going to be
Okay.
a soft launch for the Chosen Comedy Festival in Florida,
Miami.
Miami, the 14th of December.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a soft launch where I think the comics can put it out, and then it'll go live.
Wow.
No, but by the time this is out, it should be live.
Okay, by the time this is out, this
December's
will be
a
live.
busy month.
So the Chosen Comedy, ModiLive.com, you can get your tickets there. It's going to be amazing.
Okay.
Jessica's going to be on it too.
Let's get back to Mohegan Sun.
Yes.
All right. First of all, I've never been to Mohegan
Me
Sun.
neither.
It's a huge casino.
Me neither.
You either.
We've never
Me
been.
neither. I've done 2 casinos in my life, and they were the worst adventures.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Jamie Masada had a Laugh Factory in some casino, like 2-hour drive out of L.A. And so I would take the gig once in a while, and you're working in a comedy club that they built in this like nook, and there's this thick velvet curtain between you and all the machines. So while you're on stage, you go
That's
ding,
not
ding,
what this
ding,
is.
ding,
That's
ding,
not
ding,
what
ding,
this
ding,
is.
ding. This is not it.
This is
But
not what
was-
that is. Don't scare her.
No. And usually, and so when you do shows in casinos, this is more of a comedy club that happens to be a part of a casino.
Okay.
But when you do shows at a casino, it's literally first of all, the audience is there for free. They've given them a free ticket. Ours isn't.
Yeah, ours
you have
is
to
not
buy a
that.
ticket for our show, so that's already good. They want to
This
be
is a
there.
venue that's attached to a casino.
Exactly. And then you're looking at people who are just taking a break from losing money.
Oh, jeez.
That is the worst thing. But this is different. This is
And here's
Comics
Modi.
Love. And here's Modi.
And
I'm
here's
down. I'm down.
And here's
I'm-
Periel.
My marker's down $30,000. Let's go see Modi tell jokes.
Oh my God. First of all, I'm lying. I have been to Mohegan Sun. I saw Alicia Keys perform there, and it was amazing. So
Yeah, it's like a legit place,
yeah,
right?
Legit
it's
place.
got good vibes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we're going to have fun there. And we're going to have just
It's
3
good.
days of hanging out.
It's going to be really fun. I'm really excited.
Do you
Except that-
gamble?
No.
I don't gamble either.
No,
I
but
find-
Periel and I are going to have drinks.
Yeah, what gamble?
what am I going to do there with Guy? Go to the buffet?
Are there any
Yeah.
cute vintage places around there?
Oh,
We're going to
that's-
be writing, first of all.
Yes.
Yeah, that's on another topic, though.
Vintage shopping. Do
I'm
you
gonna-
gamble?
No, does not
No,
appeal
I
to
don't
me.
understand gambling.
I don't get it. First of all, I don't know how.
I-
You give me all these chips and cards and
It
what?
doesn't make sense.
What
First
is
of
this?
all,
What am I, Rain Man? So many numbers.
but if you gave me like a large chunk of money, like why? Like the first place I would go would be to like the Prada store. Like why would I take that money and potentially lose it? Like I would go shopping. I would
No,
go
yeah, I
buy
don't
like
understand.
a Cartier bracelet.
Wait,
It's not Jewish.
They think
Sorry.
that they,
a different
think
part
that
of the brain that
they
lights
think,
up when you
wow,
gamble."
I'm definitely luckier than this casino.
So
They built this entire casino
stupid.
for me. For me to come here and win
Right,
money.
they didn't build this off of our losings, did they? No, I never got gamble. I thank God I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't gamble. I thank God those are not my.
Wow.
Isn't that a big thing?
Wow, Saint Modi over here.
No, I mean God knows what else I have going on, but I
Yeah.
thank God those aren't
You don't
like
drink at
addictions.
all.
No, you see me drink
Yeah, you don't
alcohol.
really- I don't really drink
when they're
either,
freaking
though.
out. Oh, this is the most delicious blended, blah blah blah. I take a sip. Very nice. And then back to the Diet Coke. But
Which you also don't really drink.
I don't really drink either. But and the gambling, I just don't. I don't understand how you just throw money. on the
Wait, can we?
table and say
Should we
goodbye
talk
to
about
it.
Kanye West?
I think so.
Of course.
Kanye West.
First of all, it's not true that JP Morgan Chase
Dropped him.
but they said that it was because of the anti-Semitic comments,
Okay.
and then of course, like on Instagram, it was like some of the Jewish comedians were like, "The Jews have spoken," because
But no one on that board is Jewish. The
But it's
CEO is
also-
not Jewish.
Right.
No
It's
one
also
is.
not true. Like
Yeah.
Noam sent me yesterday.
Yeah.
Noam Dworman, the owner of the Comedy Cellar, sent me. He likes to like debunk like everything that I say.
course.
He says I get all my news from social media.
Okay.
That this was in the works for months.
Well, because he's
Oh.
just like a very volatile person business wise. Like I understand like all his deals that he's had with like Gap and Adidas, he's always like constantly threatening to pull them or not doing the things that he's like contractually supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I think there was like a lot of business things going on as well where
Yeah.
they were like, we don't want to hold this account anymore. But also he's just crazy.
Well, I actually personally really everybody always dismisses what he says because he's crazy,
Right.
quote unquote, but I feel, or mentally ill, let's say, but I really take issue with that because I think that there are a lot of people who are mentally ill
Who are not anti-Semites.
right, but like you can't just dismiss everything he's saying. He's mentally ill. It's like, so he's mentally ill. It doesn't mean that what he's saying isn't also
Yeah,
maybe true or not true. But I think the most sort of profound read on this was by our friend Eitan Levine, who did the podcast.
Yes, yes.
Not that.
He wrote a whole thing about how he's exhausted talking about this.
He said, so he has a very popular series called
Anti-Semitic or Jewish.
Yeah,
Jewish
Jewish or
Yeah.
anti-Semitic, and it's very funny and it's very popular. But he said, "Stop asking me to talk about Kanye West. I'm not going to do it. Like, this is obviously a man who's like in the middle of a mental breakdown."
Right.
And
He's been in the middle of a mental breakdown for several years now.
has he?
Yes.
I haven't been following him. I can't imagine anybody I'm less interested in.
Really?
But I could care
Well,
less.
since it's your show, we should
well,
probably
No.
change
I'm
the
just saying.
subject.
I haven't been following his. I know who he is. I know who he was married to, but I don't follow his every move when he pulls out of his Gap deal. Or I
Right.
don't. I can't imagine caring about.
Well, the reason
Kanye
why it's
West.
relevant is because like literally 1 month ago, before this all happened, you posted that clip of
Right.
which is
What clip?
So I have a bit. I talk about how whenever anybody says anything anti-Semitic, the first thing that everybody goes to is just invite them to a Holocaust museum, which is the stupidest idea in the world. Because you're literally taking somebody who hates Jews into like what was the final solution, like to show this
To
is
the
what they
Hall
were
of
up to,
Fame
but they
of Jew
failed.
hating.
Maybe you want to pick up where they ended and get this going again. You take Marjorie Taylor Greene to the Holocaust Museum. What is she
was
gonna,
like-
she's gonna come out there and goes, how did they not finish it off?
she's an
And
evil
now,
bitch, that woman.
so the only thing is when you invite them, this is why I always mention Holocaust and Holocaust museums in my set, because just that word Holocaust museum is out there. And if somebody hears it and goes,
Yeah.
what the hell is a Holocaust museum? And they Google it, they might go.
Right.
Someone who has, someone whose brains are intact, not like Kanye West. Kanye West does not need to go visit a Holocaust museum. He's the reason it exists. You understand? But it's just hysterical. You know what I'm saying?
People, I always get confused when Jewish people comment on whenever you joke about or you reference the Holocaust in your set.
Right.
They're like, how could you be making a joke about this? Like, it's disgusting. Like, anti-Semitism isn't anything to be joking about. And I'm like, if we don't joke about it, what are we supposed to
We
do?
have to
Just not.
don't look at it as joking about it. Joking is mentioning it and putting it on the table, and it's an issue. And even though you know what a Holocaust museum is, other listeners, other people don't know what it
Statistically,
is.
most young people don't
Oh,
know.
they have
what
no
it is.
idea.
So when they Google Holocaust Museum, like, oh, well, let's go check this out.
There's also a lot of like very serious anti-Semitism going on university campuses.
Awful.
It's like really scary.
I perform for organizations that are teaching them how to combat.
Yeah.
No, you're walking alone down with a yarmulke on your head to your class.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you see a pack of kids screaming "Free Palestine," and they start to yell at the kid with the yarmulke as if he's the one that could free Palestine.
Right.
You know, and so they need to know what to say, how to
Right.
combat it, and it's sad.
I think it was Berkeley was talking about like Jewish free zones or something. It's like it's no joke.
What's a Jewish free zone?
I don't know. We have
Well,
to look it up.
Stanford recently acknowledged that a lot of their entry requirements, like a few decades ago, were like incognito trying to actually just ban Jews. Like they acknowledged it. They were like, "Yeah, we were just trying to like put up a bunch of walls so that Jewish people couldn't get in."
Wow.
And it was like it just came out like last week or the week before, Stanford.
Well, that's it. We're canceling
Here.
any gig we have with
Does
Stanford.
UC Berkeley now have Jewish free zones? This is 5 days ago from JewishUnpacked.com. There was also a piece in the foreword, and Berkeley is saying it does not have Jewish free zones. I would like to read about this.
What's a Jewish free zone?
So this is from this one site, which I have not vetted yet, but it's saying that at the end of August, 9 student groups at Berkeley's law school passed a bylaw that they would never invite speakers who, quote, hold views in support of Zionism, the apartheid state of Israel, and the occupation of Palestine.
Wow, so they're definitely not calling me for a gig
Well,
there.
that's the irony is I'm sure they would call you for a gig, but
No, they won't.
So that's it. That's it. Anti-Semitism is on the rise here.
my
folks.
niece, who is a sophomore at Harvard and grew up in Germany and Israel, she put together a free peer-led annual trip for Harvard students. And she took the first group of 100 kids from Harvard who had never been to Israel before, not all Jewish, to Israel, and took them all over the country. It was amazing.
Wow, where'd you get the funding for that?
She got it underwritten. I'm sure it's
Man, no.
grants and whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that now. It's
amazing.
It's amazing. No, we had the group that we took to Israel, and by group, 3 guys.
My peer-led group.
No,
That's true, though.
it's the most
It's called
important thing.
grassroots.
Yes,
Organizing,
it's the most important
maybe-
thing to take people who aren't Jewish to Israel.
Yeah.
But we've already
Let them
discussed
understand that.
that.
It's not this war-torn country, people running around on camels.
And also, 100 students from one of the top universities in the country are like future leaders and CEOs,
Yeah.
and like they have all of these
It's Harvard.
misconceptions.
Well, do you know on that we had dinner with someone at the UN recently who's
You can say who it is.
Gilad Erdan. How
I
do you
think
say
he
his last
just
name?
started following me on Instagram.
So we
really?
had dinner with, he's the ambassador, he's the Israeli ambassador to the UN, and he was explaining to us how he's organizing all these trips to Israel with influencers and athletes and people who have, like these big social media followings because they want them to show people that Israel isn't like what it's just,
Yeah.
just depicted to be in the media.
Wait, what's his name? I think he actually.
Gilad
Erdan.
Erdan.
Okay.
And
He's the UN ambassador he's the ambassador to the UN, the Israeli UN ambassador.
we went to Nobu with him, which
Okay.
actually is a whole nother topic.
Nobu stinks.
Nobu's disgusting. It's the Rainforest
Ooh.
Cafe of sushi restaurants. And if
Horrible.
anyone is eating at Nobu, just don't.
Wow.
It's disgusting. It's
like
really
for
gross.
Tourists, and they had they had 2 bridesmaids parties. The girl had the thing
First
on
of
her
all,
head.
it smelled bad in there.
It's
smelled
it's not
like
Nobu, and it's horrible.
Where'd you, the
It's
one in
finished.
the financial district?
No,
Nobu 57. It used to be
dark.
it used to be cute,
It
right?
used to be cute. It used to be the vibe. It used to be,
It's-
hey, Nobu. It's
I walked in, I was like, I'm at a Hard Rock Cafe.
Ew,
like,
that's
what is going on?
disgusting.
Anyway, we were there with Gilad Erdan.
and he's and he's they were talking about how Israel's the big one of the biggest things that's bringing. It was agreed that Israel's PR is horrible.
Yes, that
There's
I've been
nothing
saying that
worse
for
than
decades.
Israel's PR. They never know how to spin it right. They never know how to and it's how hard could it be? People are launching rockets at you right?
Yeah.
Spin it so people understand this, but it never gets. And then, of course, the big topic was Gigi Hadid, how everything she does is like
Bella Hadid.
Bella Hadid.
Yeah.
Who's Gigi?
Her sister.
Her sister. So Bella Hadid, they were talking about how she's just pro-Palestine and pro-everything, and then Leo goes to turns to the table and says, "Do you guys know why she's trending?" And of course, none of them had.
She'd been trending for like a whole week online on CNN, on BuzzFeed, on Twitter, on Instagram for that. You saw the dress she did for Paris Fashion Week?
Yeah, of
Where they
course.
spray painted
Yeah,
it
yeah.
onto her.
Yeah.
So it was trending for like a week, this video. Like it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I turned to them and I was like, you guys don't have a Bella Hadid who's in pop culture like this.
Right.
So that when something does happen in Israel or Palestine, they can turn around and tweet it to their 30 billion followers. But she does. And the reason why people listen to her is because she's in pop culture like this. And I was like, so the conversations, Gilad, you need to be having are
Yeah.
not with influencers. They're with CAA, they're with WME, they're with all these agencies. And you need to tell them to stick with the talent and celebrities who do vocalize pro-Israel views, because no one does it because they're afraid to.
But he said that with the celebrities that they have spoken to, first of all, they don't have the reach that Gigi and
That's what I'm saying.
Bella
No,
have.
well, who
Well,
does
we
Israel have? Gal Gadot? No one cares about
No
Gal
one-
Gadot.
no
Her
one cares
movies
about her.
suck.
Right.
And she's not.
And she
Let's
had her
not
run. She
trash
had her
talk
run.
Gal Gadot.
No,
No, I'm just
she's
saying from a
not-
pop culture reference, no one cares what Gal Gadot has to say.
And-
Bella
and-
Well,
Hadid,
why does anybody care from a pop culture perspective what Bella
because
Hadid
she's
does?
in pop culture, because she's doing these crazy things.
So is
because
Gal,
she's a
though.
No,
Billion-
she's
no,
not.
Come on. No one was putting a dress around her.
Okay, so this is what I want to say.
at
There
Fashion
are a bunch of like sick Israeli models, and
But no one has the reach that Bella
correct.
does.
But I mean, those things are cultivated too, right? Like you pick somebody and you turn them into that. It's not just like.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
That's
yeah.
why I said,
Right.
Gilad, instead of talking to influencers, you need to be talking to the agencies who
Right.
rep these people, because the reason why they don't have a Bella Hadid is because if anyone even remotely expresses a pro-Israel point of view, they're dropped from the agency or the label or whoever's working with them.
Is that true?
Yes.
He was mentioning, I'm not going to mention their names, but he was mentioning big, huge celebrities he spoke to, and he asked them to speak out about, and they were like, I'm gonna, nah.
But it's very literally in vogue to be pro-Palestine.
Good.
Right.
So until you bridge those gaps in the media, I don't think it's any use talking to an NBA player or someone who you bring to Israel on a free trip. Like, no one cares.
Right. No, our friends really realized that,
depressing.
they say our friends who have friends in New York who constantly post all the pro-Palestine, free Palestine stuff. They realize that they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
They've never been there. They have no idea what they just retweet it or resend it or redo it, but they have no idea what they're talking about.
But you can be pro-Palestine and also, I think this is also a misconception. Like you can be pro-Palestine and also not be anti-Israel. That's the problem, right?
I'm pro the people living in Palestine. I'm pro them. I wish them the best
Me,
life in the world.
100%.
But the freeing them is not from Israel. It's from that insane
Palestinian
Hamas.
Authority.
Yeah, but nobody knows that the
But-
government is run. I think that like 99% of the people living there are just regular people who want to live their lives.
Right.
Like, yes.
Right. Anyway, so that was the conversation. So we ended up. Leo was like,
I left the dinner being like, I'm doing more for the state of Israel than anyone, really.
Right.
Me. I should be the ambassador to the UN.
You should be the ambassador.
You give me two
Ambassador
martinis
Leo
deep,
Vader.
I'll tell anyone anything.
I'm going to put you in a little blue and white Speedo.
I did tell Gilad that I wanted an Israeli passport, and he said, call me if Bibi wins the re-election, and then we'll talk if you really want an Israeli passport. And I was like, okay, I'll call you.
We could probably
Bibi
get
began
you.
as a UN ambassador.
He's unfortunate.
Did you see what he said
turned
about Trump
into.
this week?
What did
What?
he say?
He said Trump isn't anti-Semitic because he has Jewish family members.
God, he's exhausting.
I don't think Trump is anti-Semitic.
It doesn't matter if he's anti-Semitic or not. He's cultivated this following who's hugely anti-Semitic.
100%.
Which is anti-Semitic, and in not disavowing them, It's anti-Semitic. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if your daughter is Jewish.
Trump is pro anything that will get him a vote.
Correct.
Yeah, he's
That's-
not pro-Israel. He's pro-vote.
Yeah,
he just
that's
gives
right.
two shits about Israel.
That's right.
Pro-votes.
That's why it's enraging. But anyway,
But it was nice driving by the U.S. Embassy when we were in Jerusalem. That was a nice band-aid he pulled on the country. Granted, then the other things I'm not going to mention insurrections, but it was nice
Yeah.
that to see the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem when we were there.
okay.
That happened only after.
I'm
He's gonna
conflicted,
win
but
again.
fine. Who?
Trump.
No, he's not.
No, I don't think he's gonna
Well,
win.
you
I
know
think
what?
he's
That
gonna
was
win.
the mistake that we all made
Yeah.
the first time. No, he's not. He might. Speaking of you
Yes.
in a blue and white Speedo,
How did we get there?
well, in the Israeli flag Speedo, to have him as the ambassador to Israel, Leo posted a picture online that
Yeah.
he's part of an exhibit that he failed to.
I thought you were talking about his working out on the beach in Israel with the Israeli flag behind him.
Oh no!
When you're in Tel Aviv,
See, I'm doing
there's
more
that-
I'm doing more for Israel than anyone, really, from a PR standpoint.
No, but if you're in Tel Aviv, we were on the beach, and there's the Tayelet.
Yeah.
And it's
The
just-
boardwalk.
it's the boardwalk, and there's all these like gyms that are.
Always across all of Tel Aviv.
And there's everybody's working out there, and it's like they're so healthy. Everybody there, it's like they eat well. The food's real food, and they're always exercising. And so just like, and Leo's like, Leo and all the other guys we were with, all working out with the flag, Israeli flag behind them, like is it's so funny.
That would be a good-
be a good commercial.
That would be a good calendar too.
I get September.
Wait, what were you saying before that?
He's in like an art show that I was like, excuse me.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, if anyone wants to see my butt, it's like printed and framed in a gallery in Soho.
I want to see it.
It's a cute gallery. It's a cute.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
There is some graphic stuff there. Don't go with kids or your
Yes.
family.
Okay, art, fine.
But it's not me. I'm tastefully nude.
First,
You had to approve what they were going to use, right?
Yeah.
First of all, there's naked graphic stuff also at the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Yes, the Chappelle stuff, right?
No, that's somewhere else, I think. Yeah, I mean,
Like statues from like the
Oh, that's not
1300s.
graphic.
No,
Well,
that's a statue. We're talking about a live picture of like some super detailed. No, you can't compare that.
photograph.
Photographs.
All right, naked.
Yes.
All right, so big deal.
By me, it's no big deal. But if you're happy, hey, let's go see this exhibit with your kid, you might want to not. You understand what I'm saying?
What can you share? I want to go see this. I'm going to go from here today.
How good is the Celsius? Is it hitting you?
it's delicious.
What are you guys drinking?
This is our new drink, Celsius.
No, and then you wonder why we have to take Q-Vivic to sleep at
I
night.
know
I
what-
don't
This
have
is-
to.
What-
I wouldn't take
what's-
this in the afternoon. I wouldn't take
This
this.
has 200 milligrams of caffeine
Why? For what?
because it feels good, Periel.
Because
Yes,
all you need is to
Periel.
be more amped up.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to amp it up.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about. I wanted to talk about. We did Kanye. We did.
It's like we've covered a lot of
We've
ground.
covered a
here
lot of ground
today.
here today. We talked about the shows coming up. We've added a show for Christmas. Christmas is blowing up, and by Christmas I mean holidays shows. We added another show, right?
Well, it's not live yet, but by the time this is up, it'll probably be live.
So the 24th, 25th, and 26th, I'm at Sony Hall. Sold out the two shows already.
Wow.
Like a few
Yeah,
seats
as
left.
of last night, there was like 20 seats left for the 24th, and like literally one ticket left for the 25th.
Right.
I'm gonna get that one.
Well, you're on the guest list. You just have to tell me
wouldn't
which one
be
you're
in-
coming
so
to.
you'd be backstage.
I'm
so we're gonna add a show on Monday, the
be there when I
26th.
Come to that.
We should sell like a backstage ticket. Like you could
Ew,
be a
no.
nudnik. You could be a nudnik
No.
backstage.
Yeah, you know who's gonna buy it?
Who?
Your stalker.
Your stalker.
What would the price be? What would the
However
price
much your
be to
life insurance
sit-
policy is.
No, she's not a killing stalker. She's just a stalker. Not a killing.
$36,000.
No, let's for real.
$36,000.
I think they
and you
are.
can donate
They
part to
are
charity.
meet and greet tickets for the holiday show.
I'm talking about backstage in my face going, where do you get your material from?
Oh God!
Where do you get, wait, really, you know what? We know we have in our family, you could use this.
Have you been to that restaurant? Great material for your skit.
So funny.
Your skit
Really
is-
funny material
Jump
for your
on a
skit.
knife.
This skit, the word
The word
Skit.
skit.
Are you
It's
still-
so dismissive.
Are you still doing your skits, Periel?
so-
Your little
Condescending.
For your little skits. For your little skits.
Oh my God, that's so.
You know, every time somebody asks me, are you still doing comedy? You know, people who see me on like Instagram, are you still doing comedy? I'm like, no.
Wait, listen.
I'm chief
Should I go
cardiothoracic
down?
surgeon at Mount Sinai.
Okay, guys.
Are you still doing
This is
comedy?
what's going
Are you
on.
still the most horrible person on earth?
Wait, that sounds
Tomorrow,
amazing.
B-Side Comedy Club, 2 shows sold out.
Sold out.
Miami Improv, October 23rd, 2 shows sold out. Laugh Factory on November 16th, sold out.
But we're adding one.
Laugh Factory on the 17th, 2 shows sold out.
Oh, can we talk about how it sold out in one night?
It sold out in like 3 hours.
We announced it Motzi Shabbos after Shabbat, and but we put it out by the morning. It was sold out.
It's amazing.
December 1, 2, and 3 at Mohegan Sun with Periel. Those just went on sale,
Sold
so those
out.
are available. Uncle
They
Vinny's.
were till they found out you were on it. No, it's gonna be so much fun to watch. I can't wait.
Uncle
Oh my
Vinny's
God,
on the
I can't
16th and
wait.
17th. The show on the 17th is sold out. There's only a few left for the 16th. Then there's the holiday shows on the 24th, 25th, and soon to be 26th. Those are 24th and 25th, as we've discussed, are basically sold out. Then Boca Black Box on January 12th, sold out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And Boca
sold
Black
out.
Box on the 26th, there's only like 20 tickets left.
So we should probably add another show in New York before that holidays.
You know what
So
we should do?
everyone who's sitting on not buying tickets, you've missed the boat for a
Keep
lot
sitting
of them.
because there are no tickets left.
Or
Do you know
come to
how good
Connecticut.
Leo has something that they can get notification right away when tickets go on sale. So people are always asking for.
No, people are so.
People are lovely.
Dumb.
We love all of you. Thank you
Yes.
for buying tickets. We love all of you
But
people.
listen, if you guys are interested in staying up to date with shows, because we're going to be adding more for the new year soon in
Yeah.
March and stuff, go to Modi's Instagram, click the link in his profile and his bio. It'll take you to your Linktree page, which has links for everything that's live. And then there's a little bell icon in the corner where you can type in your phone number or your email. And then anytime I add a show there, you'll get a text message notification and you'll be the first to know that it's there. So that's
I'm
what you
getting
guys
a
should do.
T-shirt made for all of us that says "sold out."
it's so layered.
It's so good.
It's so layered too. He's sold out. He's sold out.
It's so
He's
good.
sold out. He's sold out. He's
You
sold
have to sell out
He's
to
sold
sell out.
It's
No,
so-
you don't have to sell out to sell
A
out.
little bit.
No, it's not true.
No, it's not true
It's
at all.
not
What are you
true.
talking
It's
about?
not true.
Talking shit.
No, but you know what? I talked about this with my therapist recently.
Oh boy.
Yes! Now you bring up that you have a therapist. I want to hear what else you spoke about with your therapist.
I will be here for months.
Ever.
I do think that maybe you didn't have this experience because you came from such a crazy industry. I mean, you came from the world of finance. There's not like any
Okay.
that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
But I came from the world of being a writer. And I moved to LA when I was like 25 to be a comedy writer, to write comedy. That was the only thing I ever wanted to do. And there was this like feeling that if you made it, you have to sell out.
I don't think you have to sell out in a bad way.
Look, he's so not on board with this concept.
And I'm not talking about you selling out shows at venues. I'm talking about the concept of selling out.
yeah, 100%.
As a successful person in
Yeah.
the media or entertainment. I don't think selling out has to have such a negative connotation, but I do think most people who have achieved some sort of mainstream success have to compromise,
Right, well-
to some degree. And comics talk about it all the time. Like Andrew Schultz said on his special, his last special, he was like, Netflix said I had to do this, this, and this, so fuck them. I'm just going to publish it on my own.
So-
So I
Okay.
think there is.
No, there is a little bit, and it's how you
have to
first of all,
compromise.
Sell out is such a negative connotation. You can change the word sell out to know your audience. Seriously, one time I went on stage and there was a wall and the women were on one side, the men were on the other.
It's called a
and-
mechitza.
A mechitza, and the guy said to me
Folks.
before I got on stage, he said to me, "Kick nicht rein the Eugen from the Weibet side. Don't look into the eyes of the women." Now, what am I going to do? A Periel? I don't know why this can be. Where can I look at the women? But that's what the audience needed. And so now I didn't look in their eyes because I wasn't there to make a grandstand that women and men are equal. It's just that's their community. And they brought me to them and I agreed
That
to
is
work
pretty
for them.
fucking
It's not
crazy, though,
selling
Modi.
out. It's not selling out. It's working working what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's
No.
not sell out. It's,
No, you're not going to get me on board with that fucking.
Anyway, anyway, back to selling out. We're selling out shows, Baruch Hashem, and all amazing stuff happening since our trip to Karastir.
You think so? You think that's where this is coming from?
No, so
Okay.
it definitely helped.
It didn't hurt, that's for sure.
All
didn't
right,
hurt.
are we going next year back to this?
I bli neder, and God willing.
What's Bli Neder?
Without vows, and I plan on going back to Karastir.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I might be joining. Are
I
you?
might sit
Am I
this one
allowed
out.
in though as a girl, or you're not allowed?
No,
in?
you have to go to a separate section.
Separate section. Still a vibe there. Still, you feel the energy.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go back? No, you did it. You nailed it.
I think I'm done. I think I did it.
Maybe
I don't
you
think I
did
need
it
to
well.
go back. I really committed. I got on that train. I mean, not the train. Got on the plane and a bus, and I went to almost the Ukraine. We were on the border.
You know what? Can I get like secondhand kerosene?
it was a lot.
You're in my thoughts, in my mind. You did it. You got it.
I
You
think
understood
I'm-
it.
yeah.
You're good, and you got the blessings for it. And but I would definitely love to go again. It is such a reviving
Pilgrimage.
Is there another
Pilgrimage.
place to go?
Yes, and yes.
Where?
In Queens. Super
He's
easy.
not kidding.
I'm not kidding. I am not kidding you. In Queens, the Lubavitcher Rebbe is buried at a cemetery there. Just put OHEL Lubavitch in your Waze. It is literally like 20 minutes from JFK.
Naomi Campbell posted a picture from his
It is.
grave.
I mean-
I cannot tell people
Queens.
enough. It is one of the biggest gifts of living in New York. You have the Rebbe's grave there. He's buried next to his
I've been there, too.
father-in-law. And whenever I go to my parents' house, if I have that extra half-hour block, I always swing by, put a note in. It is that energy. So you do not need to go to
The Ukraine.
to Ukraine or to Hungary. You have it in New York.
Are you with this? Are you in accord with this statement?
I mean, yeah.
In Flushing? Are we in Flushing now?
No. It's not in Flushing. It's I don't know where exactly it is in
Okay.
Queens, but it's at a big cemetery in Queens. Super easy, super accessible. Put in OHEL Lubavitch and then Google how to spell that, and your Waze will bring you right there. Walk in, somebody will show you where to go, where to put a note, how to write something, and just it is such an energy and it's such a gift of living in New York.
Okay, I'm
So,
going to
on that note-
reserve judgment.
On that
Ariel,
note,
do you
I
have
hope
anything?
everybody is good on the post-holiday. That's it. We're back in. Let's go.
You
We're
say
ready.
that until we're booked and then we're not back in. So everyone just enjoy each episode as it comes out. How about that?
No, but I mean, enjoy. People listening to this, it's going to be, by the time they hear this, it's going to be a week after all the holidays.
More than a week.
More than a week.
More than a week after all the holidays. And I hope your groove is back on, like in the regular routine. You get to appreciate your regular routine without having to stop for a holiday every 2 minutes.
We have a bunch of fun guests coming up too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we do.
This Friday, right?
We have
Dr. Radowitz.
Dr. Stephen Radowitz
Yes.
of Neshama.
Which is a ketamine, with a psychedelic ketamine treatment. I hope I'm saying it right, but it's an amazing place.
This guy
But
sounds fun,
You
interesting.
should brush up on your talking points beforehand.
I will. Go ahead. What else?
And we Tfu 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 bli ayin hara. We have Mike Solomanoff of
Oh my God, how amazing is that
Zahab
gonna
coming
be?
up.
Yeah, he's so nice.
He's so nice. From
Talk about
Laser Wolf.
sold out.
Wow,
You can't,
wow,
I mean,
wow.
you
I
can't
I mean,
get
you
a
can't get into that restaurant.
You cannot get a reservation in there. We felt so lucky that we got in
Yeah.
there. And he was so sweet. And he makes everybody feel like they're his guest and he invited. It's such a vibe.
And
Okay.
I feel like I'd love to hear from our listeners of like some guests that they might be interested in having some feedback.
Please let us know who you'd like on the show. If you want any repeats from comics we've had before or regular people we've had before, let us know. Otherwise, thank you all for listening. And ModiLive.com from me and
Periel Ashenbrand on Instagram.
info@modilive.com.
Info ModiLive.com and so is ModiLive.com is Leo. Thank you all very much. Bye.
Bye.
That's a funny t-shirt for you too.
What?
Info@modilive.com.
Just wear that everywhere.
I like sold out. I think it's chic.
Okay.
Sold out is really cute for a t-shirt.
It is.
You guys done?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Of course.
We're having